Hello, fellow ninjas. Thank you so much for joining us on Hump Day of 9.0 week. Um, we are lucky to be joined by product manager Chris Williams. We're going to talk all things patching updates. We One second. Knew that was going to happen. Sorry for the echo. So yeah, we'll be talking all things patching updates. Feel free to throw questions in the chat as we go along. And we will hopefully, maybe, possibly be joined by another PM. But I think we have a lot of really cool updates, a lot of good things to show you guys and to go over around what you can expect from patching in the 9.0 release. So, Chris, uh, want to take it
Hello.
away and I'll get out of here?
Okay. No, please stick around. Yeah, thanks, Robin. Appreciate that. Hey, everyone. My name is Chris Williams. I am the product manager in charge of patch management here at Ninja. That is Windows, Mac, and Linux. And yeah, just really excited to talk about what's in the 9.0 release that just hit to all regions. Finally, it's now available worldwide to everyone. And this was a massive release for patching. I don't say that often, but this was a pretty big release as far as the patching features go. And I'm excited to walk you through some of the updates that we've introduced to make patch management here hopefully more intelligent, more flexible, more user friendly for you and your users. So with that, Robin, like, am I good to just jump right in?
Yeah, let's just jump right in.
Okay, I will do
And
that.
let's make sure everyone, if you have questions as Chris is going along, throw them in the chat. We'll get to them as it makes sense. All right, take it away, Chris.
All right. So we'll start with Linux. As we've expanded our Linux patching insights with full CVSS score details. Let me actually just show this real quick. So if I go, for those of you who aren't familiar, we've done Linux patching for a number of years now, actually, and we're continuing to expand and iterate on that. And so we added CVEs here in a somewhat recent release for Linux. And now we're expanding that to add CVSS information. So I can see here all my Linux patches that are available, and I can see the CVSS scores. In some cases, some of these package updates have multiple CVEs, and I can click in and see we color code it. This is just like we do on the Windows side. You're seeing the color code by severity. So we show you the most critical ones. If you wanted, you can even click in, and we'll give you more information by taking you to the NIST website to give you more details on what that vulnerability is, how that CVE or CVSS score was calculated. Um, if I needed to, I can copy and paste these out and share them with my security team, or share them with anyone that's interested. But this is something that, again, we've had on the Windows side for a little while now. And so trying to bring that to the Linux side, we're doing quite a bit of work here on Linux. And so you'll see that coming up in future releases. Um, so then the next thing that I want to talk about, and actually this is probably one of the bigger features, even though we didn't necessarily change functionality, we just updated the look and feel of our reboot prompt. And for those of you who are familiar, who have used our old reboot prompt pre 9.0, here I'll throw up a picture. I don't like showing this, but I feel like I kind of have to. This is what we've had for a number of years. This is the way it's been since I started at Ninja. This is the way it's been really since the beginning. And so we've gone from this old look and feel to a new design, one that is hopefully more simplified, more intuitive for users, and then more importantly, it's built on a more modern foundation that will give us flexibility for future options. I know customizable branding, customizable logos. That's been a hot request. That is, I'll actually just share that just to head off any questions there. That is in development right now. We hope to make it available either late this year or very, very early next year. We're still in development. Want to make sure that we're doing it the right way and making sure that everything is as secure as possible. But this is our new reboot prompt that the end user see. So hopefully it should now feel more consistent, more professional, with clear communication to users. Um, the next item that I actually want to talk about is let me go back to, I'm going to go into the policies here. We've introduced, I talked about our reboot prompt. We've also introduced a new software patching prompt. And so if I come in here and go to software, and so now we have update notifications. This is a new section that we didn't have before the 9.0 release. If I come in here, I can choose, and you'll notice this is very similar to the options that we have for reboot. We have the ability, if an application is running, notify users. This is probably the more harsh option on here or I'm sorry, the automatically close. That is the most harsh option on here. Is if you want to just close the application automatically, you don't want to notify users, you have that option. But if you want to notify users and give them the chance to, hold on a second, I'm in the middle of a Zoom call, don't update Zoom or don't update Teams, you have that ability now to prompt users and give them, you can say, similar to how we do on reboots, you can say, I want to prompt every hour, and I want to do it after, I want to force the update after, let's say, 10 hours. So you can bug users, say, hey, is now a good time for me to close this application? I will note, like, we will only do this for applications that we know we're trying to update and they are currently in a running state. So that users should see a prompt similar to this. This is unfortunately still the old design. We couldn't quite get it done in time for the 9.0 release, but that's changing here very soon to the new design. But we do show users these are the applications that are running, and then we give them the choice, saying, hey, do you want to go ahead and let us close those, or do you want to hold off just a little bit longer? And we show how many times to try in the future. So with that, actually, I'll pause just real quick, Robin, just to see, like, do we have any questions coming in? Because I'm just like flying through these because I got a lot to get through, but I want to make sure.
Yeah, so we have one quick question from Jonathan, who is asking where we can modify the restart attempts.
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. So under, I'll go into Windows patches. And so here we have the reboot options within my policy, and I can choose what to do if the user is not logged in. You can say just reboot immediately, or keep trying to reboot until eventually it succeeds, in case something might be blocking it. But for if the user is logged in, and that's where the prompt comes into play, you can say notify the user and then reboot. Like you give them just one warning. You can automatically reboot, which again is the most harsh option on there. Or in the case of what you're asking on here, this is where you can come in and say, I want to notify users every hour, and let's say I want to do it up to 5 times. And you can even come in here and you can customize the title bar that users see. You can customize the message that they see. So that those are options that you have for the logged in user on there. It's going to be different. I've noticed each technician that I talk to kind of has their own preference for how they do this. Some of them say, no, I'm gonna notify the user, but I'm giving them 10 minutes or I'm giving them an hour, and others say I'm gonna just keep prompting indefinitely until they eventually accept it. It's really going to be up to you and what works for your users. Anything else, Robin, that's come in that I can answer now?
Not right now. Everyone's still chugging along saying hello. I
Okay.
do want to shout out. We've got people from Puerto Rico and Colombia and Germany in the chat. So all of these things are going to be available to everyone now. It's wide release. So
Yep.
yeah, so keep
Woohoo.
bringing your questions, guys.
Yeah, definitely appreciate those. I'm kind of flying through these, but I want to make sure that I take time to address anything that comes up. If there's something that you see, and you're like, wait a minute, what was that again? Let me know. I can slow down if I need to. Um, so for the next feature, and this is actually one of the most requested features that I've had here at Ninja, is the ability to stagger patch schedules. And what I mean by staggering schedules is that you can define a block of time that said, I want patching to start at 12, for example, but I don't want all of my devices to start downloading right at 12. I want some of them to download a little bit later. I want to spread out that load across my infrastructure, across my network. I want to make sure not everything is hitting all at the exact same time. So what we've done is that we've introduced this new stagger setting. So we have your normal schedule options. We still have the duration, which I'll talk about here again in just a second. But now you have the ability to stagger. So I was talking about no, I'll do 12. I'll do midnight time, and I want to stagger those updates. Let's say over 6 hours. So what we do here is that patching will kick off at 12, but we look at on the device. It will pick a random time between 12 and 6 a.m. And so it spreads out the load across your devices. It is a random time. There is a possibility that some devices will choose the same time, but we have done extensive testing with that. We found the odds of that happening are quite low, and it picks a random time every time that it runs. So it's always picking a new random time. And this applies to both scan and update schedules. You can do the stagger setting for a scan schedule. You could do it for update schedules. It is also, we've brought it to Windows, Mac, and Linux. Anywhere that you can run a patch schedule, you have the ability to run a staggered patch schedule. And duration, I said I'd come back to that. I do want to bring up because this is a question that I get every once in a while when talking about duration and stagger. Is, well, how does that apply if I only want patching to last for 2 hours on a device? The way that duration works is that it starts at the time that the stagger start time happens. So if, let's say, in this policy I have it set to run at midnight and stagger my schedule over 6 hours, I might have a device that starts at 4 in the morning, and so in that case, at 4 o'clock, that's when the duration starts. So the duration would go from 4 in this case to 6 for that one device. It could be 3 to 5 for a different device. So the duration is per device. So we're looking at when do we need to cut that off for a specific device. So I just wanted to call that out in case anyone has any questions there.
You basically answered Scott's question, which was setting a time frame for patches to only run in. So it's a little bit differently worded, but I think that
Yep.
answers the question. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Scott. Yeah, I see you're also asking about the pre-staging. So I'll actually just get right into that because that just happened to be the next thing that I was going to talk about anyway. So we do have this new checkbox for the update schedule. It shows under update schedule because it's more tied to updates, but it really runs as part of a scan. So based on feedback, we might actually end up moving it back to the scan to make that more clear. But if the way that this works is that when you select the pre-stage updates, um, as part of a device scan, we will do a check to see, are there any approved patches that we have not downloaded yet? And if so, then go ahead and start downloading those. Again, it is part of the device scan, and the reason I bring that up is for Scott, to your question. You're saying that when this happens, it's it's using a lot of bandwidth because we see that a lot of patches might be approved, or even just a handful of patches across a very large number of devices. As part of a scan, we're going to start that download right away. And so it could be using a lot of bandwidth. In that case, I do recommend going into your scan schedule and setting a stagger setting on there for it could be 2 hours, it could be 10 hours, whatever makes sense for you. But again, this is we're looking at approved patches. So if you come in and say I have a patch that's approved, but I want to reject it, once you reject it, we delete that file off the system. We try to be good stewards of the machines that we live on. So we clean up after ourselves. And so yeah, if you reject a patch, we'll get it off. If it's approved, then we start downloading it, and you can adjust that by using the stagger setting as part of the scan schedule. I know that's a little confusing, so I'm already considering, based on feedback, moving that under the scan to make that a little bit more clear. Any other questions around that one? Nothing yet. All right. Oh, I see Scott replied. Yep. Happy to help, Scott. Um, the Actually, yeah, we are flying through these. The last item that I have for patching, I'm going to go ahead and discard my changes here, is actually around what we're doing with patching and AI. So I've talked about this in the past on some prior webinars. I want to bring it up again because I don't know that a lot of people are aware of this. We do have, if you go into your apps, your Ninja apps, you have to be a sysadmin in order to get here and do this. We do have a NinjaOne AI app it's in early access, but it's available to everyone. You can turn it on. Where it will not be harmful to your environment. I'll say that there's no risk to turning it on, because what we're doing is really just giving you more information when you enable the NinjaOne AI app. So if you come in here and turn it on, you'll see underneath there right now the first item that we have, and we'll likely add more here soon. The first item is the Patch Intelligence AI. And this is something we've had since September, but I'll say not a lot of people realize that it's out there. So I want to call it out. If you enable this, what it gives you, what it gave you before the 9.0 release, I'll go back to my dashboard and go to OS patches. It gives you more insights into Windows KBs. So OS updates for Windows. It adds this new column, and you might have to, if you go ahead and turn it on for the first time, if you've customized this table here, that column might not be visible by default for you. You might have to go into your table settings and add the KB analysis column. But what this does is that we're looking across the internet. We're looking for feedback. What are people saying about different KBs? We're crawling to find out what is the general sentiment in the community for different updates on Windows. And you'll see, like, if we see that there are known issues, we'll flag it as known issues. And then we take it a step further, and we even list out the known issues. We say what the patch overview is and what its purpose is for. But then, like, if you scroll down, you'll see if there are known issues, we list them out. So you can clearly see exactly what users are saying, exactly what Microsoft is saying for the known issues of a particular update. We do have, and I don't think I have it in here. We have another. Oops. We have another status for caution. Caution's really the worst case scenario there, where we're really seeing, like, these are the types of KBs that make news sites. Yeah, you'll know if it's a caution, because those are the ones that are causing blue screens or causing devices to malfunction. If you see a caution, we're providing the information saying, hey, you might not want to approve this just yet. So we call this approach human-centered AI. Like, we're really just trying to give you the information to be more informed about what you approve and what you reject for patches. Maybe if you see something has known issues, you might want to hold off and say, I'm not going to apply that just yet. I want to wait a week or two and see what others are saying. Or if it's significant, you might say, no, I just want to reject that patch and get it out of my environment entirely. One thing that is new with the 9.0 release is that we're also now incorporating patch failure rates into this data. So not only are we looking at what others are saying externally, but we're also looking at how often are we seeing that patch fail internally? How often are we seeing users roll back a particular patch? So that is something that is now also feeding into that data. So you have more clear insights into, yeah, we're really seeing problems in the field on this. You might want to hold off. Um, and also new with 9.0, just to take it a step further, um, if you've enabled the NinjaOne AI, I want to come back to that and keep advertising for it. We do have something new in the patch policy setting, and again, this is starting as Windows OS updates only. Um, so if you go into the Windows OS patch policy settings, you'll see a new section in here for patch intelligence AI approval overrides, which is a mouthful. But essentially, what we're doing is that I can come in here and say, if Ninja Patch Intelligence AI detects that there are known issues, if a patch has been automatically approved based on my settings up here, maybe let's say I had service packs. I'll go ahead and switch these to approval 2 just so you can see. Um, let's say I had all my security updates were set to automatically approve and automatically approve immediately. Well, if the patch intelligence AI detects a known issue, or even worse, detects a caution, then maybe I don't want that to be approved immediately. I might want to hold back and review it before going in and manually approving it. And so that's what this gives you the ability to do. We're taking it one step further. Like we were giving you the information before now, and now we're saying, okay, that information is there. Maybe you want to pause and take a look at it. We will never make a change to something that you intentionally approved or rejected. We will never override that setting. Again, it's a human centric approach to AI. We don't want to do everything for you if AI could make a mistake, because that's really the worst case scenario. So we want to give you the tools, and then only change things if you've allowed us to. Um, so here I can say, yeah, the known issues, I want to move it to manual patch approval, or for caution for those worst case scenarios. Maybe I say I want to reject it. So any patch that was automatically approved, then I come back in here and say, well, no, let's reject it. I'll come back and take a look at it, or most likely put it in manual approval, just so I can see that it's there waiting to be approved. So that is new in 9.0. So if you haven't turned on the NinjaOne AI, if you haven't turned this on, I strongly encourage you to do so. Take a look and give us feedback about what you like, what's missing, what you'd still like to see. We definitely love to hear that.
So we did have one
yeah.
question about this. Can we update tasks based on that analysis?
So having, I'm not sure what they mean by update tasks. I don't know, Christian, if you could maybe add a little bit more context there, because right now that there is no way to do an automation based off of this just yet, but that is an intriguing idea. So that is something, like, if you have more thoughts there, let us know. But we haven't tied this into automations just yet. So
We'll wait to see if we get some more clarification on that. But I did like the idea about it being a human-centered. As someone who is AI scared, especially when it comes to, like, is this the correct information? I do like the idea about it. Like, you don't have to action on it, but it is giving you a heads up, and it's giving you that view.
Yep. Yeah, we always give you the levers to turn it off too.
Yeah.
So.
AI is exceptional at gathering data for you and presenting it in a manner that you don't have to scour around the internet yourself. This grows with you as you gain confidence and as you look at some of those evaluations. Oh, this is caution. This is caution. You see it over and over, and you start to trust it. Maybe you go over and flip that toggle, right? So it grows at your own pace as you're comfortable with it.
Yep. And it's giving you visibility, which I think is the most important thing of things that you may not catch. We're all, human, so have it working with you is huge.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And when we first enabled this here, it was late last year, is when we first brought the AI feature to Ninja. Right away, some of the feedback was that we had users saying, "Hey, like we were having issues with some machines and we didn't know why." And it was because we applied a patch that had known issues, and in the known issues, it clearly spelled out the exact problem that they were running into, and they had no idea until they started looking at the items that had known issues on them. So yeah, we want to give you the information, and then to Greg's point, which I thought was fantastic, like we want to grow with you. Like as you gain confidence in the data, we give you more tools to take a little bit extra step in automating what you do if needed.
Yeah, I think where this becomes really neat is that every tool set in the world is saying go faster, go faster, go faster. And they're providing new ways to do that. But ultimately, none or very few are actually addressing the reason why we go slow, which is why I'm worried about what I'm going to break, right? Like what's going to happen when I do this? And I think this is one of the first features I've seen where a company actually says, hey, you know what, let's address like the psychological side of this and like give people the confidence to move faster. So I'm really excited about this. And I think there's more coming in the AI realm. So stay tuned.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's amazing. And I love that approach because as someone who is always anxious about what they're going to break, it's top of mind. So I love that. Okay. Do we have, Robert wants to know when dark mode is coming, but that is just trolling at this point. So he's just here to troll us at this point.
I've seen it. I know it exists, so that's all I'll say.
You know, there was a question earlier that I think we kind of looked over. There was a question about server and clients using peer-to-peer connections automatically to save bandwidth. And I do want to point out, if you enable delivery optimization, and we do have a script in the template library to do so, we will take advantage of that. So if you're having challenges with bandwidth, it might be something you want to consider. Your Windows operating systems have that, and we can enable that, and all of your operating system patching in Windows will take advantage.
Yeah, that's we make use of similar APIs to what the normal Windows Update service is using, and so any settings that the Windows Update service can use, we can also take advantage of as well. So here, delivery optimization, being able to set bandwidth limits, that is an option that is available. We have other features in development now to also help around that, but the staggering of the schedules, I've already heard goes a long way to addressing those concerns. So I would first encourage you to try that. Try staggering, try the delivery optimization for OS updates if you want, and then give us feedback and let us know what's still missing.
Awesome.
Any other questions?
When is IE support? IE 4.0.
Internet Explorer 4.0, like it. Greg, like I know this is near and dear to your heart, the software patching. I don't know if you want to take that one. Like, when are we supporting Netscape?
Yeah, Robin, I think when you mentioned the trolls,
the trolls are out. Yeah,
the trolls.
I didn't even. I was like, IE 4.0. That must be something I'm still very. I'm a community manager, guys. I'm not a technical person. I thought that was Internet Explorer. Okay, yes.
I appreciated it, Robert.
I did too. Although I didn't want to announce it on this call, but we are dropping support for DOS 6.1 here in the 10.0 release. So I don't that's troll right back at you.
Yeah. Is there anything that we haven't touched on that you guys are excited about? Any sneak peeks we want to give? Any special things that we might want to see?
Sneak peeks. Trying to see. So I can show, like, here is a patch centric view of our roadmap. So this is and Robin, you can put this link in the chat for anyone that
Yes.
needs it. So here, these are the things that we have either in development or like planned to be. Actually, all of these are planned for the next release. So we have the ability to put devices into maintenance mode as part of patching. That is coming in the next release. We have the ability. You will have the ability to say, just check a box and set default approvals for all Ninja supported software, so that you don't have to go into the software tab and individually add Ninja products in there. And then we're also working on the ability to apply individual updates immediately, so that if you have a 0-day situation where you absolutely have to get a patch out ASAP, we're adding the ability to apply those right away. And then one other option I'll just touch on briefly that's coming in 10.0 is the ability to do a winget upgrade all command. For those of you who aren't familiar with winget, it is a package repository for software on Windows. It was built by Microsoft. It is a public repository that is managed by Microsoft and some select community members. But we tie into winget today, and we will be adding the ability with winget that you can, with one command line, say just upgrade everything. There's an upgrade all command. We're going to add that as part of Ninja. There is a risk to doing that, and actually, I think you can see, yeah, we have this warning label that you will see in 10.0 that says that if you do this, winget will just upgrade everything. It will ignore all Ninja approvals. It will ignore all Ninja user rejections. It will just go in and upgrade everything that it sees. So that's an option that's coming. It may not be for everyone, so that's why I talked about it last. But yeah, that's a little bit of sneak peek into what we have coming here in the 10.0 release.
I also want to just reiterate that product board, if you have ideas, if you have feedback, submit it there. And it is obviously, as you can see, the team is looking at them, they're working on them. They do receive that feedback. So it's always a good thing to bookmark that link that we just put in the chat so that you can submit and look at what's going on the roadmap.
Yep. Yeah. And you can always come in the Ninja portal. You can go to the help link. And by default, we show those. You might have customized it to remove that. But by default, we show the product roadmap. And so if you click on it, you will see the roadmap. This is for all different areas of Ninja. The link that I was using was just the patch view. But yeah, please submit ideas or please vote on these. Like if you have strong feedback about something, saying, yeah, this would be crucial for me, and here's why, and here's how I would use it. That really helps inform us as to, one, the priority, like, hey, we should really be working on this because a lot of people want it. But two, if you let us know how you would use it, that really helps us make sure that we're building it the right way, that works for you and everyone else that wants it. So yeah, please vote on these, or please submit new ideas. We do read those. I look at those every single week, and so I see that feedback and I appreciate it.
Also, shout out to Trevor for the shameless plug for our Discord, where you can find more of the product boards and answers and best tips and things. We have, I think, one of the best communities on the internet, where not only Ninja staff and Ninja product is very involved, but other Ninja users are involved, and they're sharing how they're using these things, and they're sharing things to look out for, and always just up to answer questions. Striker TS being one of those that is going to answer very quickly. So
Yep.
take advantage for sure.
I'm all about jumping on the bandwagon today, so I'd like to make my own shameless plug.
Yes.
In the roadmap portal there, under consideration, there is a section where you can submit requests for third-party software that you would like to see added to the Ninja catalog for both Mac and Windows. So if you have titles that you'd love to see Ninja directly support, please add them in there, add them in the comments on those, and submit them. I am categorizing that feedback for prioritizing all the feedback I get there.
Do you know where that's at, Greg? Like, I just want to make sure I highlight that on this stream.
I actually don't know the name. It's under patch.
Okay. Well, then I need to scroll back up.
Yeah.
I thought I had its own section. So patching.
Yeah, patch section is pretty big.
It is pretty big. We get a lot of feedback on patching. So it's not everything on a roadmap is public, but I try to make as much of it public as possible so we can get that feedback. People can vote on it. And so, oh yeah, here we go. Patch catalog, new package request for Mac, and new package request for Windows. So yes, please use these if you have specific applications. To Greg's point, if you have specific requests for Windows, specific ones for Mac, we are actively working to expand the number of apps that we natively support. WinGet is great. I love WinGet. To some extent, it has its own quirks though, and so yeah, the more we can support natively, we would love to do that. And so just let us know how we can help.
Awesome. Wow. See if we have any other questions that we want to touch on.
Yeah, I'm looking at so yeah, Robert's asked a handful of questions. One of them is the store should auto update. That yes, or it looks like David asked that first too. Windows Store update. So I'd be curious to know more there. Like, are you looking for us to manage Windows Store apps, manage updates to Windows Store apps? Let us know. The Windows Store apps by default do automatically update. If you would prefer Ninja manage those, yeah, let us know. That the store is a little bit more locked down, but we do have some options there if that's of interest. And then Robert asked about custom branding. I did mention when I talked about the new reboot dialogue that it is now designed in a more modern way. We've built this foundation to give us more options going forward. Custom branding is something that's in development. I won't guarantee it for 11.0. We have a lot of other stuff that's in the works right now, and so that there's always the chance that it might miss that cutoff. But we are targeting either late this year or early next.
We got another question here. So with WinGet not being natively supported, what are the best options here?
Yeah, so I think the question's more like WinGet is natively supported by Microsoft for Windows Server 2022 and subsequent releases, I'm sure. It's something that they've only recently added. And so, yeah, Ninja doesn't support it just yet because we've traditionally blocked WinGet on all Windows Server policies because that support wasn't there. So we are looking at ways that we can enable support natively, but making sure that it doesn't cause any issues with older systems as well. As far as what you can do today, I would use the script automations and just use the automation library to you can run WinGet. You can run in a WinGet upgrade all command, or you can update specific applications that way. In the meantime, I know it's probably not ideal, but that's it still gives you a decent amount of flexibility to just use the script automations that we have today.
Awesome. Dave also followed up saying, that would like the store apps to appear as installed software. So that was just, I think, clarification.
Yep.
So.
And that I know. I thought we were showing
Those
Windows
should
Store app.
already be in software.
Yeah, I was going to say, Greg and I were just talking about that today. So
Just about an hour ago.
Yeah.
So that should be
It should be there. I guess if you're not seeing those, let us know. But yeah, Store app should be listed as the under all the installed software on a machine.
Well, thank you guys so much. Is there anything else that we want to touch on? I think I ran through a lot of information here, so it's a lot to cover. But I think if that's everything, in terms of questions and things, we can. Anything else?
I appreciate you stalling. See if any other questions will come in.
Yeah, just trying.
You're good.
Yeah, I think we're good. So thank you, Greg and Chris. Again, if you have any more questions or follow-up things, feel free to join our Discord. There's a QR code up here at top. And we will always get, if we don't have an exact answer, we will find an answer or figure it out together. But thank you guys again for 9:00. Tomorrow, we will be talking about backup, Google Workspace for SaaS backup. We'll be joined by our PM Dan Myers for that one as 9.0 week continues to roll along. And again, we'll see you guys on the internet. So have a great
All right.
rest of your
Thank
day.
you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.